Um, we're gonna set up the Lyra dedicated server. You do want to make sure you're running the UE5 source build from the GitHub. You download the zip and follow the instructions on the README to get everything running. After you actually run setup, download like 20 gigs and get that all running and run generate project files, which takes a couple minutes itself, and uh, officially run the UE5 solution for the first time. You want to make sure you build the UE5, and then you could even test it by going to debug and start debugging. But once all that's working, you want to go to the Epic's game launcher, create a project for the Lyra starter game, which you could name whatever you want. I'm going to name mine Z game. Oops. 5.0 or 5.1, just depending on what source build you're using for the version of this project. And then you want to make sure the project location or the folder is inside of the root folder for the Unreal Engine 5 build. So this is my project here that I've already created, but it should be inside of this folder that has UE5 solution when you actually create this project here using the launcher. And now that you have your game folder in here, you could open it, click on the, right click on the U project file and generate Visual Studio project files. That should take a couple minutes, and once you do that, run the UE5 solution again. Um, and now that you have it open, it should show you your game here in the Solution Explorer. If it doesn't, you might try generating project files again, and then opening the solution. But once you see your game here, you right click and build it. That should take a little bit. You could test it and debug it through this, but I would recommend closing it at that point once it's up and running. And I recommend you actually go to the folder where your game's at and click on your U project file, double click that, and open it up to this point where your game's running. Once you're in here, and the first part of setting up the dedicated server would be opening project settings. You want to go to all settings. You want to type in map into the filter so you can see the default maps tab here. The game default map is the map that the client starts when the client is started, like the package client. So you want to actually change that to entry map, the entry level, and the server default map, which is the map that is loaded when the server is ran. You want to change that to shooter gem or whatever map that you want your server to host. You could also change the gameplay experience on the map here under world settings using the default gameplay experience selection here, and choose elimination or whatever you want, or one of your game feature plugin experiences. But once you select that and have the server map set up, you want to go back to the game default map, the entry map, and open that up. So at this point, again, this is the map that starts when the client opens their package game. You want to either be able to press console and type in the open command to connect to the server, or just automatically have a blueprint do it. If you are only going to host the server from one dedicated IP, then you could just open the blueprint here, and off of the event begin play, just open the open level by name function, and you could type in your IPv4 address here, which could be like 192.something.something.something. The computers, all computers' IPs, their local IPs are that IP, the 127.0.0.1. You could use that if you just want to test on your local network, but ultimately, this is only going to have one IP set, and it's pretty static, so I recommend opening through the console instead of doing the blueprint anyways, so we'll do that now. Anyways, make sure this is saved with, everything back to default. And that's pretty much all we need to do. If you're not doing the blueprint, it's ready to be packaged. If you want to use the console, because the console command is available as long as you select the development binary configuration while you're packaging it. It'll let you open up the Unreal Engine console effectively. So once you have development selected, you want to package the Lyra server. So you package that project, and then you want to package the Lyra game. So once you have Lyra game with development, you package that project. Don't use Lyra client. It's not working for some reason. I thought it was working in 5.0, but it's not working at this moment. Anyways, I package my content directly into the root folder of my U project for the game, and I have the Lyra game, Lyra server, and Lyra client. The client was not working earlier, so the game is now what I'm using, and the server we want to open here. And initially you should see the Lyra server. You want to right click on it and create a shortcut. So now you see a Lyra server shortcut. Right click on that, go to properties and add log. After you add log, your console, your command prompt will show up and show all the good stuff about your server like this when you run it. Oops. And anyways, now that the server is running and good to go, we're going to open up the Lyra game, and we run this Lyra game, and we're going to be pressing the tilde button. It's the button below escape, to the left of 1, and above tab. Now that the game is loaded and we're at this entry level, it's just the black screen. You could technically use any level, it's just easier to do the entry level, in my opinion. But anyways, just type in the same open command that we called in the blueprint, and you see we already have a little help here, 127.0.0.1. Again, if you use that, it's only going to connect to a server on the local network. I'm just using it for now to, so I don't have to show you my IPv4. But anyways, once any of your clients types in the open command and then that IP and connects to the dedicated server you're hosting, you should see everybody populating this server. And you still have options, all your settings here. If you do quit it, you will go to the Lyra main menu screen, and you'll notice that if I go to start game, and if I click on my experience here, it's actually not going to be, see, we could disable the bots per se. This is not going to be the same experience that the server's currently hosting. This is now a different local client hosted experience, so keep that in mind. If you end up going back to the main menu like this, at any point you can type console, you can open console and then type in open and then the IP you want to connect to, and then you'll connect back to the server where all your friends are connected. Other than that, I think that's about all I could think of off the top of my head for the moment. So if you have any questions or comments, just put them in the comments. Good luck, and hopefully everything was clear enough for you to understand and get some progress with your own project.